Going to go in a little different direction. What makes a leader? What makes for leadership?
I believe leadership traits are developed by a person that has a goal and that follows their goal and also go back and help other people follow their goals. I believe a leader is a person that are able to develop, ways for other people to succeed along with their success.
We've talked about President Obama's inauguration. How proud were you as an African American to see all those African Americans and people of all races, creeds, and colors there in person watching the parade and the inauguration? How'd that make you feel?
I was extremely amazed because we went from a time where black and white people could not be in the same room, couldn't get together, to them being there celebrating first black president, So it was extremely amazing. It was an amazing experience for me.
I just had yesterday and 4 years ago this sense of great optimism. We still have a lot of problems. There's still hatred in the world, stupidity, but we have made progress. The future can be incredibly bright for young people. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree highly because I believe, if you have a dream and you're willing to fulfill it, then you should have no reason not to fulfill your dream.
When you hear the stories, and Dr. King's are the most publicized, but when you hear all the hatred that they had to face, all the adversity they had to face, all the things that were done to black people historically, how does that make you feel in terms of, look, I can overcome this, look what they overcame? How does that make you feel?
I use it as fuel to drive on to my progress to succeed through life. And the reason that I use it as fuel because I know Dr. Martin Luther King, he'd been through a lot, and his dream still went on to this day. And, he wasn't able to see his dream, unfold, but we are able to see his dream unfold, and it definitely did. And I believe, if you have a dream and you want to initial your dream, you want everybody to know it, then you should fight for it, no matter what bad things happen or come your way, you should be able to ignore that and jump over the hurdles to get to your dream.
Last question. Now that there are far greater opportunities for all Americans, how important is education in making sure you take advantage? It's one thing to have an opportunity. How important is the education that makes it a successful opportunity?
Well, education is extremely important because back then in segregation time, we wasn't able to, read a book or take the advantage of being in the classroom. So while we're in here, I believe that it's extremely important to take advantage of it, and to be all that you can be, because it's still to this day, it's Africans, African people in Africa that are not able to be in the classroom, that are not able to take advantage of reading a book or writing down their thoughts and their opinions and it being shared out. So I believe that it's extremely important to take advantage of it. Thank you.
Let me ask a little different question about the inauguration. How much pride did you feel in Michelle and the two girls as a woman?
Well, as the First Lady and as the family of America, it's Michelle Obama does a lot of great things in the community and in our states, far as school and education and health and exercise and stuff like that. So it's I see her a lot nowadays, going to schools and doing performances with education and health, and we should be fit, or I'll see her on TV Disney Channel, whereas though she reach out to the kids and the youth a lot, and being as though her husband, Barack Obama, he has to deal with the more outrageous things because he's the president, but for her to be more interactive with the kids is a good...
It's a great thing.
Yeah.
It is. You did great, and we were talking before about, you said, does it have to be someone in civil rights? Who do you admire as a leader and why?
Well, a person I admire as a leader is, I'm into music, so India Arie is a very soulful artist to me, and her song, I Am Not My Hair, it means to me, like, it doesn't matter what I look like, it doesn't matter how I decorate myself. I am an individual and I am independent, and I will do whatever I set my mind to. So I do look up to a lot of artists like India Arie and Lauryn Hill and like John Legend. So yeah.
Well, that's great. And what you were just saying, the appearance of a human being does not indicate the character of a human being. And that was one of Dr. King's most important statements: judge people by what's on the inside, right?
Yes.
Now, what does that mean to you, though, when he said don't judge people on outward appearances, just like the song, but their inner character? What does that mean to you?
That means to me, being as though for so long everybody was judged on what they look like and where they come from, they weren't like really looked into as personality and lifestyle and their way of living. So that means a lot to me.
It should. Super. That was great. I am so impressed by the ability of everyone we're interviewing to articulate what it is we're talking about here. What did the civil rights movement, Dr. King, Roosevelt, what did that mean to you as a young man looking back?
In contrast to where we are now, it just seems like there's a lot that we've been through and a lot we've came from, and to see where we started at and to see where we've ended up today is just really amazing to see, you know, the achievements and the things that people did and what they sacrificed and what that brought to us here.
For a young person, even though there's far greater tolerance and all, I think it is still important when hatred appears, when someone says something hateful. It can be from anyone to anyone. I think we have a responsibility to confront hatred. Do you agree?
Yeah. In all reality, yes, but there's sometimes hatred is something that you can confront, and other times there are times you got to pick your battles. Yeah. Sometimes you can win, sometimes you can lose. Because
there's danger involved.
Yeah.
You can't do anything dangerous and all. But are you optimistic that as hate has decreased, that trend in this country will continue and continue?
Well, in all reality, there's always going to be at least someone who has the idea that I'm superior to you because I am this and that, and I can do this. But the good outweighs the bad here. As long as there's the one person who believes all men are created equal, then I'm sure there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Question about Dr. King. Any quote of his or speech of his, aside from I Have a Dream, that really impresses you, stands out to you?
Well, as many as he has, you know, uttered and put out, I'm sure I Have a Dream is the one that's most significant to me, because as I said before, to see where we started from and to see where we ended up, it's unfolded between history. So to see that that's my favorite quote right there.
Lastly, another person in the civil rights movement who did whatever, who's that person that you, like Dr. King, think changed society so much for the better?
I would like to say Dr. King himself, and it's, you know, not simply because he's the more famous and the more prosperous and more successful here, but I like him because, you know, he stood up for what he's more of a spokesperson for what we all believed in, and what the one belief that we all share, that we can walk on the same street as a Caucasian person or a white male, and to say, you know, we're all equal here. So I would like to say that he's definitely a role model of mine.
Tremendous. He was great. Coming up on Tolly's Awesome Friends, the debut of an amazing young lady, Gabriella Laura Torres Tollefson.